Welcome to week four, English 112 students. I hope you're doing well. Today is the start of week four as we're looking at our modules folder here. Not a lot to do this week, not a lot to explain. You're just going to be basically working on C6, 7, 8, and 9. C6 is a connect assignment as well as C9. Those are both shortened versions of the regular connect assignments. I removed all the concepts down to below 10, I do believe. Should take you about 15 minutes or less to do each one of those. C7 is a pre-writing assignment that actually has you submit it as a Blackboard assignment. And C8 is nothing but the rhetorical analysis assignment instructions and resources folder where you can go and see the instructions for the essay that's due at the end of week five, that C12 rhetorical analysis. So let's go ahead and start and look at C6 through C9. Let me just kind of write this down so I won't forget what we're going over. So if we go back up to the top of the C module, which is already open for you, you should be able to have been looked at this already if you're one of those kind of people who look ahead. C6 is reasoning and argument. This is an actual connect assignment where you go into the actual textbook and do the little bit of reading and then answer the questions there. C7 is that pre-writing assignment, using the rhetorical analysis skills that you've been working on up until this point. Complete the pre-writing assignment in this folder to prepare for your rhetorical analysis essay. This folder includes the assignment instructions, samples, and the submission link. All right, it's going to tell you to select an argument to analyze. Find an argument on your project topic to analyze. It could be one of the sources from your annotated bibliography, but you're also allowed to choose a new source as long as it still pertains to your topic. Because a rhetorical analysis is an assignment of an argument, you should make sure that you find a source that is actually making an argument. Don't just choose a fact sheet or something that has some just, informational stuff. It should be something where someone's making an argument. They have made a claim, they have reasons, they have support for their reasons, and they rationalize those reasons. Make sure they're doing that, because if they're not doing that, you're not going to be able to do a rhetorical analysis of their argument. Once you've chosen a source, analyze the source by answering the questions below. You may write as little or as much as you'd like to right now, but keep in mind the more you write now, the more you have to work with when you write the actual paper later. You also do not have to quote from the sources of pre-writing, but adding quotes or adding page numbers to your quotes that you want to include could also help you as you write, since you'll have to incorporate the quotes into your essay as you turn them in. The point is that this is pre-writing and it's meant to help you get your initial thoughts on paper and to prepare to write the full analysis. Answer the questions below on this document, save the document, and upload the rhetorical analysis pre-writing link for your grading. Step 2, cite the source you will analyze for the essay. Provide a complete APA references page citation for that source. Write a sentence that could be found in an essay about this source using a narrative in-text citation, and then write a sentence that could be found in an essay about this source using a parenthetical in-text citation. So the narrative in-text citation is where you would say the author's name in the sentence, and the parenthetical in-text citation is where you would say the author's name in the parentheses at the end of the sentence. Then I want you to summarize the source and analyze the content. Summarize the argument, what's the main claim, talk about who the audience is of the essay, how would you characterize the style and the arrangement. These are all things that come from the text that you've read and do the connect assignments on. What's the medium and the genre? What's the larger conversation? After that, you're going to analyze the appeals, the rhetorical appeals that you've heard so much about through your academic careers, ethos, pathos, and logos. I want you to go through the essay and analyze each one of those that are being used. Here is a pre-writing assignment instructions, as well as a couple samples and the assignment sheet that you are to use to do the assignment with. If you have any questions about that pre-writing assignment, let me know. Get that in early. I'll give you feedback, and that'll allow you to understand exactly if the thing you're thinking about doing is good or if you need to change. C8 is the actual rhetorical analysis instructions. So this essay is a rhetorical analysis. It evaluates the strategies and the effectiveness of an argument, as I just said. For this assignment, you'll choose one of those sources you found that you've researched on your topic. Ideally, you found this when you did your pre-writing assignment. You could build on that information here. This should be a source that's actually making an argument. So this is kind of going over what I just talked about with the pre-writing assignment. Down below the general requirements, this essay will be 3 to 4 pages. It does not include the title page or a references page. Remember in APA, there's a title page, that stands off by itself, and there's a references page at the end. In MLA, it was called Works Cited. In APA, it's called References. The double spaced typed 12 number 12 font, that's all standard information for a APA paper. Title page and references page in APA format. Use only the third person. You won't say I in this essay. You won't say you in this essay. Clear topic sentences, sufficient evidence for claims, analysis of the evidence, very little grammar or punctuation errors. Use academic style and tone, and incorporate quotations there as well. Here's the required outline of content, so you can make sure that you have all the things that you're supposed to use. Down below that are a couple of samples that you can look at to understand how it's done, and then the rubric used to grade the actual essay. That's the C8 assignment. In C9, that's actually, sorry, just something that you have to mark as reviewed. You've looked at the resources, you understand it. Again, ask any questions that you have about that if you have questions. Other than that, C9 is just a connect assignment. Again, one of those ones that has less than, I think, less than 10 concepts. So take a look. And if you got any questions, make sure you ask them of me, please. Have a great week.